Feel like you got to be feeling pretty good this week.
Yes, it was a great week. Go Tigers!
Yeah.
It was a great turnout on Friday for Tigerland. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly 39-0. I got to think even in your wildest dreams, maybe you wouldn't necessarily have thought that. You knew how good Valencia was going into the game. You would have taken it any way you could have in that one.
Right. You know, when you I thought we could handle them. I didn't expect a 39-0. No. Defense came prepared to play ball, and then also when you have a young quarterback like we do with Kyle Hooper, you expect little mistakes and stuff, and boy, he played really good, and our entire offense and defense just played lights out. They played really good football.
Yeah, it just seemed from every man that was out there, they just played so incredibly well. From what you'd seen in training camp and everything, did you think that the offense could run as well as it did on Friday night?
Yeah, I did. We've been repping, and I think our defense is pretty darn good. We got a great defensive staff on the defensive side of the ball, and when we can compete with our defense, and like I tell our kids, I say, guys, that's probably one of the better defenses we're going to play. And so when we can move the ball against them, I know we're going to be okay. Because like I said, our defensive staff, they put the time in and prepare those kids to win games. And offensively, like I talked last week about it, our O-line, and they made sure they let me know they're over 1,000 pounds. They're at 1,200.
1,200. We want to get that right.
They want to make sure. They had to let me know that. And with our receiving core, we're pretty special. And I said that last week. I thought we have probably one of the best receiving cores in the state of New Mexico, and hopefully we just keep firing on all cylinders on our offense, because I thought we ran the ball real well. Hunter stepped in, went from a slot receiver to running back this week, because Peaches, Carlos Hicks, who we call Peaches, he's still out with a torn ankle, and we didn't want to rush him back. We want to make sure he's healthy for the long haul in the middle of the season.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And what was interesting about it, you had Hunter that came out as a slot, which then led to Brandon playing slot wide receiver. He was going to mainly be your linebacker and maybe coming in certain spots. And, of course, Brandon goes out there and has the game of his life, 3 touchdown catches, and he also had a fumble recovery, too.
Yes, he did. Brandon how could he not love that kid? So, he is such a great human being and player. He's a special young man. Anyone that meets him will know that. He's been playing receiver. He knows his routes. He knows how to restack. He knows how to stem. He knows all that stuff. And it's pretty exciting when you see him and Kyle when they hook up on that. And before the ball was even snapped, I knew we were going to hit him on both of his long touchdowns. It was a given. I seen that they had no safety over top of him. They're trying to cheat over on top of Julian, and Kyle seen that too, and it was done. And it was pretty exciting to see how that all worked out. And then also on the other side, Julian, he didn't get no touchdowns, but holy moly, did he get a lot of third downs for us. Yep. He is a go-to guy, and as Kyle, he'll come off, he says, "Dad, it's just so easy when you have that big of a target." Because he really opens his body up to give Kyle a great target to throw that ball at. And Julian does that. He does that really well, probably better than any receiver I have. I think that helps because he played the quarterback position too. He knows how to make sure he has a field of vision with Kyle, so Kyle can have a field of vision with him. They can see each other to connect on them balls.
Very, very impressive. And I know you touched on Kyle a little while ago, but first varsity start for him, and just his composure, and the play that I think that stood out more was the busted play, where the bad snap, and somehow he gets away from the 2 Valencia defenders, and the combination of that and Marcelo not giving up on the play.
That's
as a coach, just maybe going back and watch that had to feel so good, seeing guys never giving up on a play like that.
Absolutely. We try to practice that, and let me tell you, in practice it always don't work that way, so I get on them pretty hard. I didn't have to yell them on that time, because they did a good job continuing to play. And on that, what it was, we called a play, and they lined up a blitz right into it, and so I had to check it. I said check, and the ironic thing is Kyle already checked it. He's seen it, and he checked out of that play too, and I didn't know that. So when I yelled check, our poor center thought that was a snake cadence, and so he's hiking the ball. Kyle's looking at me, ball's flying backwards, and then Kyle did a good job picking up the ball and scrambling, and then Dewey coming back down to pick up that last key block, and of course Marcelo finding the open spot.
Yeah, so many things about that play when you see a wild play be able to work that way. And I don't know if you know this. Peter put this out there. First opening game win since 2007 for the Tigers, and the first shutout since 2006.
They're right. I'm gonna tell you, our defense, boy. How can you not be excited about our defense?
They were flying.
They were. Their motor never stops. Coach Ward, he's constantly preaching the AOP and angles of pursuit, and they were flying. They were getting the job done, and I was really proud of that. I think it fed right into our hands. They jumped into a spread offense. I think they felt they had to go to spread to do catch up with us, and that worked out really good for our defense.
Who were some guys that you saw that really stood out? I think both of your linebackers. I thought Alex played a real good game, and I'm missing on the other name here at the moment, but you had a couple of different guys that I thought really stood out for you.
I do. I think defensively, I thought William, he played really good. I don't know if he had how many sacks he had. I want to say 5, maybe 6. I'm not sure, but he had a lot of rushes in there, and so did Real. So I thought our interior linemen played lights out. It was nice. I don't know if they could ever block him. I don't. I mean, William was on that quarterback pretty much the whole game, and then if he didn't, as soon as he rushed, our ends were just doing their job. It was money. They're just popping up the poor quarterback, and it was a good thing. And the coverage was there. I don't know. I was really proud with our defensive performance overall.
As a coach, I'm sure you're always looking for improvements. What are some things that you want to see the guys working on going into this week?
It's hard because when your offense comes in, they think we score our kids, and defense scores them too. But I'll talk on the offensive side. When we come in and they think they're going to score real high because we performed okay, and your highest score on the O-line's an 86, and then after that their highest score is 70 and all the way down. There's a lot of room for improvement, and there's a lot of things, there's a lot of details that we're not getting perfect at, that we got to get perfect for us to compete at the level we need to compete at. If we can ever get our entire offense scored in the high 80s, I think we're going to be pretty deadly.
Defensively, were some things that they made some big stops, and of course a number of turnovers in there.
Absolutely, we got the ball turned over. We got picked up 4, I think it is, but it's them fourth down stops. I mean, they were huge. Oh my gosh, that first fourth down stop down there on the goal, down on our side of the field. It wasn't the goal line; it was down on our side of the field. That was huge because now we have an opportunity to go down and score again. And I knew, right then, that's when our kids said, "Hey, we got to put our foot down and put them down right now." And once we held them on that fourth down, and then we drove back down the field, you could see already the defense didn't even want to get in their stances. They were pretty tired. We slowed it down tremendously in the second half because I was trying not to. I didn't want to run up the score by no means, and so we were just trying to kill that clock and I think do the right thing, and we slowed it down, but we still got 70 snaps. I think we could have easily hit 100 snaps. I thought it was a great story. My O-line, they're in, and I telling them slow down, and not to get on the ball, and so he stood up and. All interior defense of the linemen and linebackers, thank you. And the ref said the same thing. He says, I'll second that. I'll thank you too. And so that was a good thing. The refs were tired. The defense was tired. And I think, it was really nice. It was really nice.
And that goes to the conditioning that you guys
absolutely
put in the offseason.
Yes.
The only thing I could look at, it seemed like the only way that Valencia was really able to move the football was penalties on the night.
That's correct.
I'm sure that's the only thing that if you look at a 39-0 win, if there's anything that you want to clean up, that's probably as a coach the one thing you want to look at there.
Well, I think defensively we're going to play aggressive, and we're going to get some penalties, and Ward will let you know that too. He'll say the same thing. We're going to get penalties, and that's just we're an aggressive team, and that's the way we like to play football, and I'm okay with that. I'll take my chances on that. We're going to play aggressive, and we're going to come after you, and hopefully we don't get the penalties. And if we do, well, it's hard not to get on the kids because we're telling them to play that hard. We're playing, you're 100 mile an hour all the time, and sometimes those penalties happen.
What a role reversal for this game with Los Lunas this year, it feels like. You guys we talked about it last week, kind of wide-eyed going into the first varsity game. Yes. And there's just a level of confidence with this group. And Los Lunas, meanwhile, comes in with a group of younger guys compared to last season when they were so senior-loaded. Talk about preparing for this game and this group, because this is still a very talented team coming in on Friday night.
Oh, man, that's for sure. on film, I think they look better in Valencia on film. They're really disciplined. They're definitely a well coached team, and they know what their job is and they do it. Sometimes it's nice to get some kids out of their when they're not disciplined, because we can take advantage of that, especially offensively. And I look for that when kids, a DB or linebacker or any of the defensive positions. When I see that they're not disciplined in their position, we take advantage of that, and we don't see that with this team. And then the next thing, they have more numbers too. And so, not a lot of their kids go both ways. I think we had 4. There might be 5 that go both ways. So, they're about like we are. So that won't be a great advantage for us. Of course, they're going to be fired up. Coach Harmill's over there coaching defense over there. So, they're going to be fired up to play for him, and as our kids are to play against him. So it's a big game. I know they're young. Everyone says our game was a big surprise. I don't know. It wasn't a surprise to me, but everyone else it was. But I thought a big surprise was the Los Lunas game. Farmington, they're defending state champions, have pretty much everyone coming back, and heck, they should have won that game. They're down. They're up 10-0 with 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And Farmington pounded in 2 and took the lead. So
I know that one of the keys defensively for you guys is watching that little running back that they have, Samuels, number 20.
Boy, he's quick.
I hear he's quite the special back, and only a sophomore, so he's somebody that will be to watch for over the next couple of years. But that's, I'm sure, going to be one of the guys you're keying in on for that team. Man.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's that kid is quick. That's for sure. I don't know if you guys have looked around, but I kind of pay attention a little bit on athletes in New Mexico, because I want to know who we're playing and who we might meet. And it seems like there's a lot of talented sophomores out there right now. Yeah. A lot. And Artesia, the quarterback, I think he's a sophomore also. And so it's just there's a lot of this pretty talented sophomore group in the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, there's a lot of young kids that are really stepping up, underclassmen that are having big seasons early on here. Defensively, they seem like a pretty solid team. You talked about the fact that they held Farmington to nothing, 0 for a good portion of that game.
Right.
Defensively, you feel like I get the feeling you feel like if your offense executes, that you guys can move the ball like you did last week against Valencia.
I don't know. I think we'll be prepared to do what we're doing on our offense, and we got a lot of wrinkles that we didn't have to show against Valencia. But I know they're going to be preparing for some of our, some of the things that we do a lot, and so we'll see. We'll see how our kids prepare. Today's a heavy offensive day. We'll see how practice goes today. I know the weather ain't helping us. It's hot. Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, definitely. Makes it tough when you guys are out there at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
and then finally, how pumped are you to get that first game in Tiger Stadium in 2014?
I'm pretty excited. I am. I can't wait to see the fans come out and support our kids, and hopefully we can deliver to our town what they've been wanting for a long time.
Yeah, well, it was a great start to the season, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Named NM Preps Coach of the Week. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, the kids let me know that, and it's flattering. It really is, and I just want to thank, I think Kyle Henderson does a great job on New Mexico Preps, and what he does for New Mexico sports, high school sports, it's a great thing. And he helped us out a little bit, though. I'll be honest with you, our kids got a little fired up because he didn't come down and visit us this summer, and it put a little chip on our kids' shoulder. So I'm gonna have to thank him for that sometime. But
it's all about finding that motivation, right?
Exactly.